The glorious advent of Swami Ramanuja was foretold in Yadavagiri Mahatmyam, Narada Purana. The scripture declares, "He who is Adisesha incarnated as Lakshmana in Treta Yuga and Balarama in Dwapara Yuga. He will be born as Sri Ramanuja in Kali Yuga." Swami Ramanuja was born in Kali Yuga, year 4119, which corresponds to 1017 CE. Also, other scriptures like Padma Purana, Skanda Purana, and Srimad Bhagavatam prophesied Swami Ramanuja's incarnation. Approximately 4000 years before his birth, the Divya Mangala Vigraha, divine idol of Swami Ramanuja, was bequeathed to us as Bhavishyadacharya Vigraha, divine idol of the future preceptor, by Swami Nammalvar himself. Swami Nammalvar was the foremost of Alvars, the apostles of Bhakti, lauded as Vedam Tamil Cheidamaran, the saint who gifted the world the Tamil version of the Vedas in elegant hymns. He crafted from the Tamarabarani river the golden idol of the yet unborn Ramanuja, naming him the Bhavishyadacharya, future preceptor. Through his ardent prayers to Swami Nammalvar, the peerless Nathamuni acquired this divine image and consecrated it for posterity. Sri Nathamuni was the foremost of preceptors who collected and codified the 4000 hymns of the Alvars known as the Nalayana Divya Prabandham in Tamil. Swami Yamunacharya, the next Acharya, is his grandson. Tamil poet Kambar recited the Ramayana in the Tamil version before him for approval before it was included into the holy precincts. The same Divyamangala Vigraha is now present in the temple of Alvar Tirunagari in Tamil Nadu. Swami Ramanuja is the crest jewel in the lineage of Acharyas, preceptors, who have painstakingly preserved and bestowed a treasure of immeasurable value to humanity, profound teachings of our scriptures. Here, the Guru Parampara, the lineage of masters, is likened to a magnificent necklace and shows Sri Ramanuja as its splendorous centerpiece, adding consummate effulgence to both sides of the necklace. Through the grace of Lord Parthasarathi, Swami Ramanuja was born to a pious couple, Asuri Kesavachari and Kantimati, in the temple town of Sri Perumbudur, 30 miles southwest of Chennai. Sri Perumbudur, the birthplace of Swami Ramanuja, is also home to a legendary temple of Lord Vishnu. The presiding deity of the temple is Lord Sri Adikeshava Perumal. On hearing about the birth of his nephew, Periya Thirumalai Nambi went from Tirupati to Sri Perumbudur and named the child as Ramanuja, meaning younger brother of Sri Rama. It was a very apt name, as Swami Ramanuja was the very incarnation of Adisesha, and Lakshmana was also another incarnation of Adisesha. Periya Thirumalai Nambi, also called Sri Shaila Purna, was a disciple of Swami Alavandar who took the permission of his guru to settle down at Tirumala Hills to serve Lord Venkateshwara. He had two sisters, Kantimati and Sridevi. Kantimati was Swami Ramanuja's mother. Just as the darkness is dispelled automatically at the advent of the early morning sun, so too ignorance, delusion, and misinterpretation of scriptures were demolished the moment our Divakara, known as Swami Ramanuja, was born. Swami Ramanuja's descent on earth, as per Nammalvar's prophecy, brought cheer to goddess earth, and the Vedas were revealed that the apostle of Dharma has incarnated to restore their pristine glory. Ilayalvar, as the infant Ramanuja was called, exhibited his divine nature right from the time of his birth. His mother could see in him the signs of Adisesha, and his father could recognize him as the personification of the Lord's Panchayudas. Driven by intense yearning for knowledge, young Ramanuja became a disciple of Yadava Prakasha, a local scholar of Kanchipuram. Once, A princess of Kanchipuram came to be possessed of a Brahma Rakshasa. Exorcists were brought from all quarters, but none were able to cure the princess. Even Yadava Prakasha, to his utter dismay and chagrin, could not help the princess get rid of the evil spirit. Swami Ramanuja, at the behest of Yadava Prakasha, placed his feet on the head of the beleaguered princess and instantly warded off the evil spirit, thus relieving her from an excruciating ordeal. And not only that, the ever-merciful Swami Ramanuja also liberated the princess by granting her moksha. When Ramanuja started to disagree with Yadava Prakasha's misinterpretations of Upanishads and shared his brilliant expositions on the nature of the Supreme Reality, Yadava Prakasha, out of intense jealousy, insecurity, and extreme dogmatism, came to a brutal resolution of getting Ramanuja killed during a trip to Kashi. The devilish conspiracy was discovered by Govinda, Ramanuja's cousin, who arranged for Ramanuja's escape. When Ramanuja got lost in the forests of Vindhya mountains, Lord Narayana and his consort, in the guise of a fowler couple, came to his rescue and miraculously transported him to Kanchipuram overnight. Overwhelmed with intense love of God, Swami Ramanuja started to serve the Lord of Kanchi, Lord Varadaraja, by fetching water from the holy well for the regular use of the temple. Govinda, Swami Ramanuja's cousin, who saved his life from Yadava Prakasha's murderous plot, later became a staunch disciple, earning the name Yambar and Ramanuja Padachaya, the shadow of Ramanuja. Govinda, who continued the pilgrimage with the rest of the disciples of Yadava Prakasha, discovered a linga in the holy Ganga and, on behest of Yadava Prakasha, retreated to Kalahasti. Later, under the guidance of Periya Thirumalai Nambi, Srishailapurna, Govinda became an ardent follower of Swami Ramanuja. When the great preceptor Yamunacharya visited Kanchipuram, he spotted Ramanuja assisted by Kanchipurna, passing by along with Yadava Prakasha and his disciples. Swami Alavandar could immediately recognize the Bhavishyadacharya, the future preceptor, and uttered Amudalvan, referring to Ramanuja as the foremost of all leaders. Yamunacharya, also known as Swami Alavandar, lived in the 10th century CE. He was Srinatha Muni's grandson and an important link in the lineage of Acharyas. His peerless works include Chatushloki, a popular prayer in praise of goddess Lakshmi, Stotra Ratna, a prayer in praise of Lord Narayana, Siddhi Trayam, consisting of Atma Siddhi, Samvit Siddhi and Ishvara Siddhi, which describe the philosophy of Vedanta, including the relationship between the soul, God and the universe. His other works are Agama Pramanya, stating the authority of Pancharatra Agama, and Gitartha Sangraha, a commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. Swami Alavandar arranged the tutelage of Ramanuja by assigning his chief disciples to mentor him. Thus, Swami Ramanuja acquired 5 illustrious acharyas who ensured that the treasure of all scriptural knowledge was passed on to him. The 5 Mahatmas were Mahapurna, also known as Periyanambi, Goshtipurna, also known as Tirukkottiur Nambi, Maladhara, also known as Tirumalayandan, Alavandar Alvan, also known as Tiruvarangapperumal Arayar, Srishailapurna, also known as Tirumalai Nambi. Upon hearing the news of Alavandar's illness, Swami Ramanuja rushed to Srirangam from Kanchipuram only to witness the last rites of the great master. He then noticed that the 3 fingers of Alavandar remained folded, signifying 3 of his last unfulfilled initiatives. Ramanuja immediately made an oath that he would write a commentary on Brahma Sutras, which truly reflected the actual intent of Vedavyasa, that he would perpetuate the memories of sages Vyasa and Parashara. And thirdly, he would honor Saint Shatagopa Nammalvar by writing a commentary on Thiruvaimozhi. As soon as Swami Ramanuja finished his solemn pledge, the three fingers on the corpse of Alavandar unfolded miraculously one by one and straightened, signifying that these were his last wishes indeed. Rakshakamba, Ramanuja's wife, belonged to an orthodox family, had very rigid values, was unable to overcome her narrow-minded outlook. Being highly caste conscious, she could not comprehend the greatness of Mahatmas like Kanchi Purna, who was a Guna Brahmana and a Karma Brahmana, even though he was not a Jati Brahmana. A Guna Brahmana is a Brahmana by nature. A Karma Brahmana is a Brahmana by action, whereas a Jati Brahmana is a Brahmana by birth. Her repeated mistakes aggrieved Swami Ramanuja immensely and eventually paved way for his becoming a sannyasi. Lord Varadaraja clarified the doubts of Swami Ramanuja by declaring 6 axioms through Sri Kanchipurna. The 6 tenets given to Swami Ramanuja by the Lord himself are: number 1, Lord Narayana is the supreme truth. He is the Paramatma. Number 2, the individual souls are distinct but inseparable from Paramatma and are subservient to him. Number 3, total surrender, Sharanagati, is the means to attain moksha. Number 4, the last remembrance of the Lord on the part of the departing soul is not necessary. Number 5, release from bondage, that is moksha, follows immediately upon one's death. Number 6, Ramanuja to take refuge in Mahatma Mahapurna, that is Periyanambi, who is endowed with all virtues, and to choose him as a spiritual teacher, as his Acharya. Mahatma Mahapurna, that is Periyanambi, initiated Swami Ramanuja into spiritual life on the banks of a lake in front of the sacred temple of Lord Rama in the town of Madurantakam in Tamil Nadu. When Rakshakamba insulted Mahatma Mahapurna's wife, the pious couple who were hosted by Swami Ramanuja decided to move out and travel to Srirangam. This mistake of Rakshakamba turned out to be the final trigger that led to Swami Ramanuja renouncing the worldly way of life and adopting sannyasa. The fame of the illustrious Swami Ramanuja, Itiraja, king of ascetics, as he was popularly called, as a philosopher, spiritual leader, reformer, and redeemer of the masses, spread far and wide. Noble souls like Kuresha and Mudaliyandan took refuge under the great master and became his chief disciples. Yadava Prakasha, Swami Ramanuja's erstwhile teacher, had a divine vision of Lord Varadaraja in his dream, who instructed him to take refuge in Swami Ramanuja. As both Sri Kanchipurna and his mother concurred that he should surrender to Swami Ramanuja, with no further ado, Yadava Prakasha approached the Swami and sought his blessings. He eventually became one of the chief disciples of Swami Ramanuja. The Arayars, that is the singers of the divine hymns of Srirangam, through their divine offerings of songs, beseech the Lord of Kanchipuram, Lord Varadaraja, to permit Swami Ramanuja move from Kanchipuram and settle down in Srirangam. With the blessings of Lord Varadaraja, Swami Ramanuja moved over to Srirangam, where Lord Ranganatha welcomed him with all temple honors due to him and also appointed him as the leader to oversee the affairs of both the twin Vibhutis of the Lord, Leela Vibhuti and Nitya Vibhuti. Thus, Swami Ramanuja earned the title of Vadayavar, the one who is the overseer of Lord's twin Vibhutis, the Leela Vibhuti and Nitya Vibhuti. Leela Vibhuti stands for the ephemeral, ever-changing material world, the created universe. The Nitya Vibhuti stands for the eternal, blissful, spiritual world of Vaikuntha. As a fruit of Swami Ramanuja's resolute pursuit, Sri Goshti Purna, that is Tirukkottiur Nambi, finally initiated him to the sacred Ashtakshari mantra. Goshti Purna blessed Swami Ramanuja with the sacred mantra with a caveat of not sharing it with others, as this mantra, the very essence of all scriptural knowledge, was very exclusive to only a chosen few. He had warned Ramanuja that one who breaks the exclusivity would experience the wrath of hell. However, after having obtained the finest wealth, Swami Ramanuja, the personification of nobility and greatness, proclaimed the mantra to all who were interested from atop the temple tower. Incidentally, Swami Ramanuja had to walk 18 times from Srirangam to Tirukkottiur in order to obtain the essence of all scriptural knowledge from this legendary teacher, Sri Goshti Purna. What is wrong if I am alone damned as a result of proclaiming the sacred mantra that would beget moksha to everyone else? Swami explained to his enraged preceptor. Wondering at his selflessness, Sri Goshti Purna embraced Ramanuja, calling him Emberumanar, the exalted one. Swami Ramanuja's compassion for every living being was consummate and unparalleled. He strived to assure liberation to one and all, irrespective of caste, creed, or race. Having undertaken Grihastha Sri Kurattalvan, that is Kuresha, performed Tadhiya Radhana, serving food to devotees. The chimes of bells from his palace doors aroused the curiosity of even the Lord's consort, Pirandevi Tayar, who was informed of his Tadhiya Radhana by Sri Kanchi Purna. Willfully donating all his wealth to expedite his spiritual ascension, Kuresha started towards Kanchi and Swami Ramanuja. He made his wife throw away the last goblet of gold she carried to serve him, indicating their complete emancipation from material possessions. In accordance to his preceptor Goshti Purna's edict, Swami Ramanuja bade Kuresha serve him for a samvatsara, in order to be qualified for receiving the meaning of the Charama Shloka. Kuresha performed a month-long fast to demonstrate his firm resolution and longing for knowledge, and obtain the purport and message of the Charama Shloka. Abiding Swami's instructions, Dasharati, that is Mudaliyandan, accompanied Sri Periyanambi's daughter Atturai as a domestic helper. In a display of unabated devotion to his Acharya, he served Atturai and her parents-in-law for several months till they realized who he was. When he expressed his desire to learn the meaning of Charama Shloka, Dasharati was asked by Swami Ramanuja to approach Tirukkottiur Nambi, urging him to forego the three egos arising out of knowledge, wealth and pedigree. Tirukkottiur Nambi sent him back to be initiated by Swami Ramanuja if he deemed Dasharati eligible. Upon listening to the incident from Dasharati, who prostrated in submission, Swami Ramanuja imparted the purport and message of the Charama Shloka to him. Swami Ramanuja began learning the meaning of Thiruvaimozhi, Nammalvar's Divya Prabandham, considered equivalent to the Samaveda, under the tutelage of Tirumalayandan as per the recommendation of Tirukkottiur Nambi. Tirumalayandan mistook some of Swami Ramanuja's interpretations to be not in conformity with Sri Alavandar's commentaries and discontinued the teaching. Then Nambi, likening Swami's learning from Tirumalayandan to that of Lord Krishna learning from Sandipani, convinced him that Ramanuja reflected nothing other than Swami Alavandar's intent. Ramanuja himself often expressed with his signature humility, "I am like Ekalavya to Swami Alavandar." Ramanuja used to serve Thiruvarangapperumal Arayar after his divine musical dance performances based on the Divya Prabandham by offering him warm milk and applying soothing unguents to his skin. Pleased with his devotional service and diligence, Arayar initiated Swami Ramanuja on the path of placing unswerving faith in one's preceptor. Thiruvarangathamudanar, the official guardian of Sri Ranganatha Swami temple, often indulged in dance performances, shunning the temple processions. Swami Ramanuja therefore entrusted the mentoring of Thiruvarangathamudanar to Kuresha. With Kuresha's able guidance, Thiruvarangathamudanar could finally realize the divine resplendence of Swami and transformed into an ardent bhakta of Swami Ramanuja. Kuresha presided over the ceremony of Thiruvarangathamudanar's mother's funeral rites. When Thiruvarangathamudanar, who was the custodian of the Srirangam temple, inquired what Kuresha desired as a reward for his participation, the latter sought the administration of the temple to be handed over to Swami Ramanuja. Thiruvarangathamudanar, who had already realized the greatness of Ramanuja, was only too glad to hand over the temple administration to Swami. It is this Thiruvarangathamudanar who subsequently wrote the Ramanuja Nutrandadi of 108 verses. This transfer of administration ushered in a golden era for the Srirangam temple. Swami Ramanuja recited Tirupavai, the sacred Tamil hymns composed by Saint Andal, every day when he went around for alms, which was the practice of a sannyasi. And he was popularly called Tirupavai Jiyar, as he was constantly meditating on Tirupavai, which was considered the very essence of all Upanishadic teachings. Once it so happened that he approached the house of Periyanambi, and while knocking the door, he was chanting Undu Madagalittan verse of Tirupavai. Suddenly, he heard the sound of bangles on the other side of the door, and it was opened by Atturai, daughter of Periyanambi. The coincidence of the verse with the door opening was so overwhelming that the moment Swami Ramanuja saw Atturai, he instantly prostrated. Atturai was wonderstruck, but Periyanambi could immediately understand the mood of his disciple, correctly guessing that he must have been meditating on the verse that described the magic of the sound of bangles of Nappinnai, the consort of Lord Krishna.